As women of color.
As women of color.
As women of color.
As women of color.
We are expected to have it all together.
From school to careers to relationships.
All while making sure our edges are laid. Wearing so much armor daily can be tiring.
And the truth is, we don't have all the answers.
But we can lean on one another to find the answer.
You're listening to I'm Just Sayin, your bi-weekly podcast for all things real, raw, and in between.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It's your girl, Ayana.
I'm Darla.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Shawnee's.
And you're listening to I'm Just Sayin, your bi-weekly podcast for all things real, raw, and in between. So, y'all, how great is this to be together for like the first time?
Especially on episode number 5. This is special.
It's a sign.
Big milestone. So, as you guys can probably tell, we are all for the first time recording in the same room, in the same state, in the same city, in the same town, in the same location, in the same area of oxygen.
Everything.
We're a little excited about this. This is like new. This is exciting.
Finally.
How y'all feel?
Nervous, but let's do it.
I feel good.
That means when I talk shit about Jess, she's gonna be right here.
Yeah, bitch, I'm gonna look at you like, say it again.
Oh my gosh.
What?
She's gonna
But I'm feeling like this is a
At
good
least she
thing.
hits me, it's on camera though, so I can see.
So it's been a struggle the first 4 episodes, but with time comes, success.
That's right.
So trust me, we're gonna get it together, y'all. So last night,
Our launch party, networking event that we've been promoting forever. It finally happened.
Yes.
It was so much fun.
Lit.
I was definitely a success. We all had a good time. I'm just drinking. How was
That
that?
drink.
I'm just drinking.
That expensive ass drink.
It was.
Straight up $10.
Yeah.
It was like, oh bitch, I guess you can get no tip. Please take But it was good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was so nice to
tasty.
see like all the people that are listening and like they were actually
New
there
listeners.
telling us like, yo, it's so good to finally put a face to the name.
Yeah.
And like
And when people were telling you about the stuff that they, liked about their show, like, oh, you mad loyal, you be listening.
and quoting us,
Right.
dying and
They're telling me
dancing,
what
you
I
know.
said. I'm like, I did not say that. I was like, yes, girl, episode 3.
No,
Yes, thank y'all for coming.
It was nice to see the support from your family and from your friends. It was
Absolutely, and I really enjoyed even the networking portion when everyone was kind of getting engaged with each other, asking those questions that we had provided. Everyone loved that.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. People were making a lot of great connections. A lot of things was happening there.
oh, absolutely.
It was great food. Shout out to Nicole.
Yes. Oh, thank you, girl.
It was great vibes. No one came with an attitude.
Exactly.
Everybody came with their arms open, which was good.
Yes.
One Oak did their thing.
They
One
did.
Oak did their thing.
It was beautiful.
It was incredible. The vibe was great. The DJ KT.
Yes.
She was incredible. Love the DJ. The party was. We did a good job.
Yeah.
Success. It was definitely a
Again.
success.
So once again, like we said last episode, if you were not there, you are not loyal.
You're not loyal.
You are.
You're probably
broke.
jealous.
You're jealous.
Definitely broke.
You're broke. You're a broke nigga.
You ain't shit.
You ain't shit.
Ain't never
You
been
missed
shit.
out.
Yeah.
You
Never
never
gonna
gonna
be
be
shit.
shit. Right.
Right. And don't jock me when I blow up.
Have
Yeah,
fun.
exactly.
Right.
That should be our tagline. Don't drop me when we blow up.
Right.
When we not answering the phone. Phones keep ringing. I ain't picking up.
Hey, there you go.
That's right.
So let's get into this week's episode. First things first. We're gonna get our shit together. So, Adulting 101.
Let's do this.
All right, perfect. So today we're going to talk about cover letters. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but recruiters and hiring managers actually spend an average of 6 seconds reviewing an individual resume.
That's bullshit.
A resume that took me like 6 years to make.
Right.
Yeah, 6 seconds. So in some cases, a recruiter may not even see your resume. So how do you feel about that?
So how does that work? Like, so how do you get the job then if they're not looking at the resume?
Why are you not looking at my resume?
Bro, they don't listen.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay.
So the whole point of a resume is basically to only provide your work experience, really, your credentials, how long you worked, wherever you worked, what you did there, and that is really just it.
Yeah.
So when recruiters actually don't see your resume, it's basically because they're starting to use a lot of like new technology.
Right.
So there's such thing as like an ATS, which is an applicant tracking system. So those cases where you apply for a job online, they're actually running your resume into a system, and the employer will provide the description of the job to this system, and they'll point out keywords.
Right.
So this person has to do these specific skills. They have to have this many years of experience, and it'll scan your resume for those keywords and those numbers. And if they don't have them, then your resume is tossed, and you're probably going to be sent an automated message basically saying, "Oh, so many great applicants, but
we decided to go with someone else."
Yes. So it can be a really tedious job to have to tweak your resume every single time you apply to a different job, because let's face it, when you are applying to jobs, you're probably doing it to like 1 million of them at once, and nobody has time to match their resume to every single job that they apply for. So when you do submit your stuff to ATS systems, they are actually scanning your cover letter as well, because they always give the option to include a cover letter. So they're looking for those keywords in there. So in that case, you could always write a cover letter that's going to speak to that job specifically and kind of get your resume pushed a little further. So this is basically where your cover letter comes in. So your cover letter should include 2 things. It should allow you to target the job and the employer in a very specific way. So this is going to leave the resume to simply market your skills, qualities, and experience as part of the bigger picture. Your resume is going to need less tweaking in this term with each application, because the letter is going to speak for you. And it's going to be different every time, because an employer is going to know if you're writing the same cover letter for every single job that you apply to. The other thing is that a great cover letter, it should not just repeat your resume, but it should also tell the employer what it is about that job that's attractive to you. So it's basically like kissing ass. So you're basically telling them like, I love your company so much, and I want to work for this company, and I think I'd be a great asset to it because I can do this, this, and this, and my resume speaks for itself. And you're kind of just throwing in those extra things that you wouldn't normally include within your resume. So let's say you did a big project for your previous job. You can't write that whole thing on your resume. You might want to talk about it in your cover letter. You're also going to want to explain to them what makes you a good asset to the company. How are you going to change that company as a whole? How do you connect with them? Do you agree with their values? Do you agree with their mission or their purpose? And it's going to basically show them that you've been doing your research in turn. So you'll definitely need to research the employer and the job before writing the letter. So you want to go over that job description extensively and make sure you understand what the job is going to entail, so that you know how to write that letter, that you know that basically when you read the job description, you can be like, okay, I know I can do that because I've done this before. And you'll put that in the letter. It'll also need to be written in an engaging style, because at some point, even though you are submitting it to an electronic system, someone with real eyes is going to read this letter. So it's also kind of like a double whammy, because you're not only explaining how you're beneficial to the job, but you're also showing them that you have good writing skills, that you're able to communicate in a written manner. The letter is going to need to show that you've made a conscious effort to learn about the company. So you're going to acquire relevant knowledge before going to the interview, before you're chosen. And, you know, sometimes they do want to hear you say, well, I looked over your website and I saw that your mission does this, or I saw that your company culture includes these kind of things, and I think that really resonates with me, and that's what would make me perfect for this position. And that's how you're going to get your foot in the door. Another great thing about a cover letter is that not everybody writes them. Not everybody really takes the time. I know in some cases I've gotten so overwhelmed with applying to so many jobs that when I come across a applicant process that I feel like is way too long, I'm just like, next one, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Or I'm like gonna half-ass it. So if you're writing that cover letter and the next person has the same exact skills as you, but they didn't write one, you're probably more likely to get that job or get that interview.
Okay.
So in the case if the employer does not actually disclose who they are, and it's kind of like blank, it's just the so-and-so company, it doesn't say anything, but it has the job description, then you're just going to write the letters written specifically to the job itself.
Okay.
So you're going to analyze what the job does and basically how your experience is going to tie into that. And your enthusiasm for the job definitely needs to shine. So those cheesy lines is like, I think I'm perfect for this position because, or I think your company is so incredible that I love the values that it stands for. You're pretty much just like
wait till it strikes.
You gotta get in there somehow.
Y'all missed it. Y'all can't see it, but she was doing some lovely movements.
So at the end of the day, you're going to need to convey that you have reviewed their website and you understand their business, that they are your employer of choice regardless of how many, I mean, they don't need to know what other jobs you're applying to, but the job that you're applying to at that specific time, that's my employer of choice. That is who I want to work for. I don't want to work for anybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You believe that their personality fits within their organizational culture, obviously providing that it does, and that you really want to work for an organization with their values. So all of these qualities really help sell your fit with their organization. So that really concludes it. How do you guys feel about cover letters though? Like, do you guys usually write them? Is it something that you normally do? Do you kind of follow these steps?
Only for like jobs that I really want. Like you said, like if it's too long of a fill in and drag drop and tell me your work experience from the past 12 years, I don't do that. But if it's a job I really want, then I'm gonna like go the extra mile to write one. But not for like, we got part-time at like some consulting firm. Like I'm not doing that.
I've always done it, but now that I know that niggas only reading 6 seconds of my shit, like I guess, so would it be safe to say that you should put more effort into your cover letter? Like make sure like that's like...
I think the initial effort that you put into your resume is significant. For me, I actually used a website to have them review my resume, tell me everything that was wrong with it. And they actually fixed my resume for me and formatted it in a way that all the important stuff was at the top, that certain things that were really important stood out. They were able to word it specifically to the jobs that I was seeking. And it laid out like it was very straightforward, because jobs don't want to, or hiring managers don't want to necessarily have to search for what they're looking for. They want the paper sitting in front of them, and within 6 seconds they have to see what they're looking for right now. So they don't have the time to look at that. But if they're going to take the time to read the cover letter because they know that that's something that you've written, then you, at the end of the day, when you're applying to jobs, then that's what you're going to spend more time on. But when you're initially just start like creating your resume, then you're going to spend time on that, but you're only going to do that one time. Whereas with the cover letter, you're going to do that every time you apply to a job.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use cover letters all the time whenever I'm applying to jobs, but I was reading an article, maybe on LinkedIn, about cover letters, and it was saying how, you know, how I thought the professional term was to whom it may concern. They said don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Like that looks it's so unprofessional because like you didn't take the effort to find out who the actual hiring manager
For
is.
the department.
Yeah.
It kind of like you just was like copy paste this company instead of that.
Yeah. But I was like, damn, I thought that was like the professional phrase to use.
Saying it, right.
But yeah, bursted my bubble.
Yeah, and like
Don't
for
do
me,
that.
when I was applying to jobs, I definitely, if there was no way of me finding out at all, it's gonna say to whom it may concern. But usually it'll say, like, even if it's posted on like Monster or Indeed, it'll say like who the hiring manager is, and I'll just write it to that person. Even if it's not that, it's probably not, and they're probably the one that posted the job. At least like putting a name on there and making sure that you are targeting that specific person or that company specifically is really important.
Or maybe just saying like to the hiring manager of this department, or to, you know, if you're doing a certain department, say to the art director of yada yada yada, you know, so it seems more personal. Like you actually took time to make it for that company. But I did want to say, like, for like other things outside of jobs, like for if you're sending your portfolio or like your work, written or drawing or anything, you can actually use the same template for a cover letter. You just have to basically, it's just the spacing that's different, the formatting, but it's the same template. I know when I sent some things to Scholastic, send stuff that applies to the job. Don't send erotica to Scholastic because they're not going to publish it. Like, send the right work, number one. And then, you know, I sent this packet of things. The first page basically has to say who it's going to, you know, saying this is the position, or I'm looking for a position to do this. You know, writing is a bit different. They don't necessarily have positions to write about this, but say this is what I want to write about. I feel like I can be an asset to your company. In this packet, you'll find this work that I wrote here, and this is about this, like a quick little like excerpt type thing. But don't just send your things, and don't email it either, because a lot of people, especially the higher ups, they're not checking their email. It's going straight into spam. So if you mail it to them, they're gonna be like, why do I have a packet on my fucking desk? Like, you know, niggas don't send mail no more. So, you know, they're gonna be like, oh my God, like, they took the extra, this is like buy stamps and shit, like, you know?
Absolutely. All right, well, thank you for that, guys. And this concludes this week of Get Your Shit Together, Adulting 101. And if there's anything that you listeners would like to learn in the professional world or otherwise, send your inquiries to I'm Just Sayin at imjustsayinpod@gmail.com, where no question is a stupid question. And this is the only opportunity that I'll be able to do your Googles for you, because I ain't got time for that shit any other time. So please write in, let us know what you want to know, and we're going to move on to the next segment. It's time to talk about some fuck shit with Johnny's.
I know, the best part of the show. When we all just get the best. I mean, all right.
I mean, I guess.
One of the best, but it's like towards the top. But anyway. So, why gotta be last? Oh my God. We're all second, okay? Anyway, I just wanted to talk about real briefly a story I've been following. I know you guys have heard about Jemele Hill with ESPN. The Sports Center. And
I don't know the story.
All right, well, let me school you, Ma. As you would say, let me school you, Ma. So I got this from the Washington Times. Okay. So, you know, it's a bit skewed, but whatever. It says Miss Hill, Jemele Hill, posted a series of tweets Monday evening taking aim at Mr. Trump and his voter base, calling the president a white supremacist and saying his movement is a direct result of white supremacy. I'm going to read off her tweets. She said, Donald Trump is a bigot. True. Stop me when I stop spitting facts.
I was looking for the lies
Stop
here.
me when I stop spitting facts, okay? Okay. Donald Trump is a bigot. Glad you could live with voting for him. I couldn't because I cared about more than just myself. Okay. He is unqualified and unfit to be president. He is not a leader. And if he were non-white, he never would have been elected.
Super fast.
Non-white and male. She didn't say that, but I know that's what she meant. He has surrounded himself with white supremacists. No, they are not alt-right. And you want me to believe he isn't a white supremacist? Trump is the most ignorant, offensive president of my lifetime. His rise is a direct result of white supremacy, period. The height of white privilege is being able to, and she used emojis, ignore his white supremacy because it's of no threat to you. Well, it's a threat to me. Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. She made sure you got that shit unless you didn't get it the first time. So that's the story. She tweeted these things out. I can't even remember why, like what Trump did, because it's consistent with this dude. But she was upset, you know, with valid reason. Again, you guys did not stop me because you heard nothing but facts being spit. So
Ain't shit. Okay.
Yeah,
he's an ain't shit nigga. So she said those things. Now ESPN is trying to defend her in a PC way, saying, you know, we don't stand by her comments, but, you know, they're not going to fire her, which is what the White House wants them to do. They want them to let her go.
The White House?
Yeah.
Yeah, the White House, the whole
They said
government.
it's a firing
You know
offense.
Trump. Come on
It's
now.
a firing offense. They felt, because they don't have shit else to do, right?
Right.
Don't worry about Jemele Hill and ESPN and her fucking show. So they're like, we need to fire her. You need to fire her. And she's just like, I mean, I said what I said. Like, who said that?
Nene.
I said what I said. Like, that's how she feels.
Yeah,
Like,
don't watch that.
so ESPN is like, we don't stand with her comments, and they just swept it. Right now, everybody's mad at ESPN, talking about why you sweep her comments under the rug. Like, she's talking about our president. Like, she's talking about Jesus or some shit, right? The fuck shit lies in Miss Texas. It was the Miss USA pageant. They asked her this question. I'm gonna read the question to you. Last month, a demonstration of neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and the KKK in Charlottesville turned violent, and a counter-protester was killed. The president said there was shared blame with very fine people on both sides. Were
true.
there? Tell me yes or no. Immediately when I heard this, I was like, yo, the Miss USA pageant is
Yeah,
getting
what
lit
kind of
as fuck.
questions?
Like, they talk about the hard-hitting questions. Like, they're not talking about what's your favorite, like,
Color.
What's your favorite color, and, like, what do you want to do for the starving children? I mean, that's important, but, like, this shit hit home. I'm sure everybody turned their TVs up because they was like,
They were like, hold up.
you know, because no shade. It was a pretty little blonde, blue-eyed white girl. So they was like, here we go. This bitch about to.
No, I would
She
have
about
turned
to
it
say
up.
some racist shit. I saw it live, and I was like, here we go with this bitch.
Did you turn it
She
up?
actually, I did all the way, 31. She actually said, I think that the white supremacist issue, it was very obvious that it was terrorist attack. And I think that President Donald Trump should have made a statement earlier addressing the fact and making sure that all Americans feel safe in this country. That is the number one issue right now.
Oh, okay.
When I
Texas?
told you, I was like,
Good answer.
yes, Texas. Like,
So,
but
yeah.
I feel like she maybe like dated a few black guys. Because like, okay, let me not put that on her. But anyway. So
No, you can't.
I just feel like she did. Like, you know,
Yeah, because she's from Texas and she probably like,
you know how they be.
She's empathetic.
Exactly. So for her to say
Have
that
a
is
sponsor.
like,
Right.
Maybe she dated a Mexican. There's a lot of Mexicans in Texas.
Because it's right there.
All right. Maybe she dated a black or brown person, not a
lot of
black
Mexicans
man.
in
Black
Texas.
or brown.
But the issue with that is, so ESPN is now saying, like, we're not going to fire her, but we don't stand by her comments. Everybody fucking, like, almost threw a parade for this white girl because she basically, she sort of kind of touched on it. She kind of talked around it, but still saying she didn't agree.
Right.
But no one's saying anything about that. All the publications are saying she's so brave and she actually spoke on this controversial topic and all these things where Jemele Hill was basically saying, nobody cares because this shit don't affect y'all. And so she says it sort of affects her because she's knowledgeable of what happens, but like no one's saying, oh, how could you say that at the Miss USA pageant? I feel like more people watch that than sports, especially the new Sports Center because it's black. But
Yeah, I don't watch
I feel like more people watch that and like no one's mad about that. Like,
But
I heard that, I'm
how
like,
is she? She's brave for answering the question that was
she's white.
given to her.
yeah.
That's why she's
There's
white.
she didn't- I don't feel like she spoke
or like for
on-
answering the way she did. She's brave because she knows it.
Because
probably
she's
have
brave because she
background.
gave a good answer.
She's brave for saying, yeah, I know the fuck shit that's happening in my country.
But then when a black woman says it, or basically like, because it seems like, you know, this Miss Texas, she kind of, she spoke about it, but she didn't
Roundabout,
really, she didn't really like outright say
This
like,
is wrong.
Yes, no. But this black woman was like, nah, fuck all that shit. Like, I'm about to.
He's a bigot. He's racist. Like,
end of the day. So I mean, there's an obvious double standard. I mean, it's always been that way. So it is what it is. But obviously, Trump's administration has no. They have a lot of time actually on their hands.
Trump does not have an administration. I'm telling you what Trump has. Trump doesn't have an administration. He has a group of niggas that he used to play golf with. That he decided, you know when people, like, you know when you at a job and you really want a position and then your boss gives it to, like, their little cousin Ray Ray and you be like, bitch, like, Ray don't do shit.
Right.
Like,
he just related to you.
And now you're gonna be like, oh, he's cool with me. I go way back with him. Like,
meanwhile,
that doesn't make
Ray
sense.
setting fires in his
like, oh, Ray crazy. Like, no. You know, like, that's what I feel like his administration is. Just a bunch of people he knows. Like, this damn bitch, Betsy DeVos. She didn't even go to college. She has no idea what public school is like, but she's in charge of that. Like,
right,
that makes no sense.
That's some fuck.
He has Sean Spicer speaking for him. This nigga can't even speak for himself.
Thank God he was let go.
Didn't he just leave?
Yeah,
I thought he just fucking bounced. I thought he was out.
I mean, he was over it.
I've been over it. But that's what I want to talk about because I just feel like, you know, like we talked about before, I think episode 1, go back to that if y'all been listening because y'all loyal. Like, you know, when a black woman says something, it always comes out as combative or as you're being defensive. And it's like, just because I'm saying I know what's happening to me, it's like, hey, now, you're a little bit too passionate.
Yeah, they be like, yo, simmer down.
Yeah, like, and this white girl, she was all pumping the fist and everything, and no one said anything to her. Like, she's so brave for standing up for this country.
She did date some black boys.
Exactly.
She got dick down.
Or Mexican.
Or Mexican.
Or Mexican.
Like, you think a Mexican will change your mind?
I think if you
This
date
fine ass Mexican, first of all,
that's the real question.
Like, I feel like you have
it depends on the Mexican, because
perspective.
if he's like a Cap G type Mexican, maybe.
Wait,
who?
who's Cap G?
You don't know Cap G? Follow him on Instagram. I like him.
Kev.
He's a rapper. Cap G. Did you see Dope? The movie Dope?
Yes.
He was the Mexican that was selling the fraudulent bags.
He's a rapper.
He's a dope rapper.
Wait.
You know, I guess so. I just left the crib with your girl. That's him.
Oh.
You bitches.
I just I don't know names.
I'm just shaking your ass.
I was just shaking my head. I didn't know who was shaking it.
Not fake, but yeah. If it was Cap G, maybe. Because he's...
I need to check this
down.
guy
He's like a
out.
Mexican T.I. You would like it. He is. He's like
I love
Mexican
T.I.
You do. I don't know why.
A Mexican T.I.?
He is. But that's all I really wanted to talk about in regards to fuck shit because we did really have a really good event and I'm just feeling positive. So you gotta know, I be trying to spread positivity out here. You know?
Yes.
I heard it makes your skin brighten and you know I need some work, so I'm trying to be positive. So. Did y'all have any fuck shit y'all want to talk about? What's going on in the news?
I gotta say some fuck shit.
Oh, shit. ¿Qué pasó?
Niggas that RSVP to shit.
Oh, we coming up early, Darla.
But don't show up.
I'm gonna take a sip.
Take a sip too.
That shit is crazy.
That shit
Yeah. It's a...
I don't understand.
Not all people.
No, because I
Not
do
all
appreciate
True,
those
true,
that
true.
gave us a heads up and, you know,
Yeah.
things do
Yeah.
come up.
Oh, we're not
But,
talking about y'all. We're not talking about
Now
y'all.
we talking about the niggas who was amping it up, like, yo, I can't wait to see you.
We
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be lit.
there.
Where the fuck was you at?
Talking about what shit
said
I wear.
Where was
Like,
you at?
I'm ready to throw hands.
I mean, hello.
You know.
It's alright, because niggas on blacklist.
Right.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't
The ones
like
who
our
had
shit.
excuses, y'all are exempt from this. But that's definitely some fuck shit. Don't be asking me questions. Talk about where is
How
it
was
again?
it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know.
Send me the link.
Yeah, send me the link, send me the flyer. Or be like, oh, where is it again?
What's the
like,
address
what
again?
floor? What floor? Like you on your
Like
way.
you,
Like,
like you
yeah.
right at the,
And then don't show.
at the front door.
Then you
It's
see
a
them
wrap.
on the gram and shit at another bar or another party. And then be
Boring.
like, yo, I
Your life
lost
is
track of
boring.
time. Yo, it's crazy.
Whatever.
And it's like, you can keep your time. Okay, I don't need it.
All right, well, thank you for that, Shawnee.
That was Darla. She got me hot.
Sorry, just had to
She got me
throw that
hot.
shit in there.
All right, you ladies ready to get into this week's topic?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We should stay focused since last episode. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went a little off the rails.
Can we apologize for that? Last
We was going through a lot of stress.
It was real nasty. Real bloody and shitty. It was real.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit got real.
Just under a lot of stress.
It was, it was stressful. It was.
It was stressful.
All right,
What
we
we
ready,
talking
Yana?
Oh, all right. So, this week's topic is going to be written. It was actually written in from the party.
Oh my
Our
guess.
guests were so
By a
lit.
guess who
Yeah.
came.
Our guess was
What they gotta say?
All right. So, Anonymous would like us to talk about this little specific situation. How do you choose between the guy who's good for you and the guy who's good? Oh, wait, hold on.
Uh-oh,
Good for you.
Sorry, guys. How you choose? Oh, the guy who's good for you and the guy who does good for you. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
So the one who's good to
I
you
did
and
it
the one
before
that's
y'all
good for
said, if you know what I mean. Now I know what y'all mean.
How do you choose?
So basically, the good guy is just that, a good guy. He's stable, caring, but so boring. Like, he does everything that you need,
Like your mama will love him type shit.
Right.
Okay.
but he probably won't.
But you probably cheat on him. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
keep it real.
The other guy, though, makes you feel good.
Hey! But that nigga be playing you.
But he's
out.
not mentally or emotionally stable for you.
Sounds like a lot of
That's
niggas.
like every nigga out here.
Every fourth nigga is that nigga.
That nigga.
How do you choose?
you can't have them both. You can't.
I'm about to say both would be perfect.
Since you can't have them both.
Damn.
Damn.
Merge them.
I
That was
think-
quick.
I think it depends on where you are in your life. Like,
Yeah.
if you still dotting and bopping, if you still out here, you know that mentally you're not ready to settle down, you still want to get them things out your body, then stick with the nigga who gonna make you feel good.
Get
What
what
things?
What things out of my body?
In Spanish, it's something that we say, like, like you fuck around so you can, like, kind of like get your rocks off. Like, you gotta get it out your body type thing.
What is the phrase?
I'm not saying that.
Say it. That's not
No,
yours.
now I forgot how to say it because y'all was eyeing me and I didn't like it. So,
Oh, boy.
but I think it just depends. Like, when you actually ready to settle down and you want somebody to love you and take care of you and you want a boring nigga. You want a nigga that, he home. No, he gonna be home. I know he's home because he's always home. He ain't doing shit. But I feel like, but that's,
You know what? I agree with you with that. But also, like, even if he is born, there's always ways to, like, spice things up. Like, you can teach.
He's not a spicy type
some
nigga.
niggas are
sounds
just
like.
great.
He
like,
don't. No, okay, I get it. He's great, but we're not. Like, if we was with a great nigga, we could. What would you whiten it up? That sounds bad.
Blacken
You
it up.
gotta
nigga.
I was like, I don't really want to whiten it up. Whatever. I was like, you could blacken it up. Like, you could spice some things up. Like, you could
Sexy.
teach. Y'all watch what show was
But
that? Y'all
if
watch
a guy
Being
is
Mary
boring,
Jane?
isn't it like he's not open to shit like that either? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some guys is like, I
No,
just
if you
like,
love me, you gonna be open to it. If you want me to stay, you gonna be open to it. We not
that's
just
why
gonna
you
get
got
boring.
the nigga that do that like you said.
That's gonna do it.
Okay, that's why you got that nigga. So we talk.
But that nigga ain't shit.
No, bitch, that's the question.
This is hard.
Yeah, but I hear ancient niggas got the best dick.
Bitch, they
Right,
do.
and that's the problem.
And that's the problem. You need to give this good dick to them boring niggas so everybody can be happy. But
Ancient niggas though, they're not happy. Nobody's happy.
True.
I agree with Jess though. I think it depends on the time in your life. I actually had a situation similar to that. Okay, not really. I had a boyfriend but was being entertained by ancient niggas. But I was like 18 and I was like, I'm young and free. Like, I can do what I want.
Still thotting and bopping. No problem.
I'm bopping faithfully though in a relationship.
How does that
how?
work?
Bitch, how?
Explain.
I was faithful to the nigga I was with when I was with him.
Like with him physically,
Like physical?
or like
Like, yo, when I was with him, it was all about him. But then when I wasn't with him, it was
Like when you went
bitch, I
home.
feel you.
So
No,
you
no,
went
no,
on
that
that and
like when I, yeah, like
That
when I went
counts.
home, it was all like, hey babe, you
Yeah,
hungry?
yeah.
I cooked for you. Like,
And baby, I love you so much, but when you're not in my presence,
Dotting and motherfucking.
but you know what? The only difference was like he was a provider type dude, but he wasn't what I needed for me. Cause y'all know I'm a little bit different. Like I need you to support my dreams and what I'm saying and all the things like that. And he was just like, I mean that's cool or whatever, but like I don't really care like to hear about your dreams. He didn't say it like that, but he was just like, I mean, all right.
Not really interesting.
Okay, you gotta go.
You can't tell your dreams to someone who doesn't have dreams of their own because they're just gonna crush your shit, okay?
Absolutely.
But we're going on a different path. But yeah, so I had that same situation, and I was just like, these ancient niggas is really not gonna do nothing for me. But I cheated anyway, so
Hey.
They got me by.
Yeah.
I mean, I said ex-boyfriend, so clearly didn't fucking work out anyway. He
Well,
wasn't that
see,
damn good to me, so whatevs.
Y'all some cheating ass bitches, yeah.
Y'all.
Hey.
No.
Hey.
I don't do that.
No.
Listen, I be struggling because listen, I've been with a lot of people who are not good for me.
And you try to make him good.
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
see the potential in that piece of shit, and you try to make him a better man. But some of them niggas, they just not fixable.
You gotta trust
gotta
people.
leave
They
that
don't
shit
want to
alone.
become better.
You can't be Captain Save all the time.
True.
So yeah, I mean,
But you know what sucks? When you do fix him,
And he better for the
and then
next.
he's better for
Bitch.
Yeah,
You're welcome, bitch. That was
Right.
all me.
no.
Shit.
I be cranking them out though. It's a factory over here. I fix them and then.
Give them away. Damn.
Be free. So how do you choose?
So the guy who's good for you, I feel like you have to be with the person who's good for you.
Right.
I mean, as much as the guy that's good to you is tempting, it's not healthy. You have to realize within yourself like what you truly deserve as a woman and how you really need to be treated. And even though that person that's the good to or good for you is boring, there has to be something that you have to find a middle ground. So I mean, even though he's boring, I mean, I'm not saying to force it because you can't force attraction, you can't force love, you can't force any of that. So you have to find someone that is a balance, and there's someone out there that is a balance. So at the end of the day, neither one is good for you.
Yeah. Find
That
you a
deserves some
balance.
snaps, girl. That
I
was
got
good.
my balance, hey boo.
That's good.
I know you watching. I got my balance here at home or whatever.
We're still looking
I be
for
trying
you.
to, I be trying to support the whole wisdom. I be like, yeah, that used to be me. And then I go, hi, babe, and they go, all right, bitch, whatever. Like, just show that shit love.
We don't hoe shame here.
No hoe shaming. We don't shame, period.
You know.
Do what you
We
do.
loyal shame.
We
But
No.
loyal shamers. She said loyal shamers. But like, okay, so I just had a conversation with someone. I'm not gonna tell who it is, of course. But they was telling me like the guy they were with, they're a nitpicker. Like every little thing that he does is wrong, and it's like you just don't want to be with him. But she finally told me like, you know what? I don't think I want to be in love. I think I just want a partner. I think I just want somebody to, handle shit for me or handle shit with me,
Right.
make sure I'm good and all that other stuff. But I don't want to be in love. And I was like, that's some honest shit. You should probably tell people that instead of wasting your time. Like, because I'm pretty sure there's other people like that. Like, you do your thing, you do their thing, whatever that means. And y'all make sure our home is good. Y'all make sure yourselves are good. Like, stuff like that. Like,
Yo, but that's
That's
not hard.
deep, and
That's
that's-
so hard, especially when you've been with somebody for a long time. You build up that comfort. Like it's like you could love a person, but what if it's just like I love you, but I don't want to let you go because me and you we just got this bond, and I don't want to be out here. You know?
You gotta get over that shit, man.
yeah, I was just going to say that.
I'm curious how you get to the point in your life where you're like, I don't ever want to be in love. Like how?
They
How
don't-
did that?
For their life at this exact moment, they're at the age and the stage in their life where that's not a need for them. They feel like they get love from others. They feel like their love compartment is full enough with like family and things like that. So they don't need to feel that.
Is it like if it happens, or it's like I don't want it to happen at all?
If it happens, but they're not searching for it.
Oh, okay, that's
They're not
okay,
searching
okay.
to meet somebody and go, oh, I like the way he makes me feel. Like, they don't care. Like, what can we do to help build each other to make sure we're both good type situation? So I guess it's really what you want. If you want somebody, if you want to be head over heels and have butterflies, then of course go to the guy that's good for you. But if you want to feel good and be like, oh, I kind of like this nigga, then don't do the guy. Go for the guy that's good to you.
And then do
And then do
And then do him. And then do him. Don't do him first. Make sure you know.
Well, that's debatable.
That was a lot of stories that just went through heads.
All right. So that was a good topic, actually.
was,
Thank you, Anonymous, for that.
Word.
Who wrote that in when you came to our party and actually participated?
Who has incredible handwriting?
It
by
looks
the way.
just like your handwriting.
It
actually.
does.
It
She
does
wrote
not.
that.
I did not write that.
It looks like your handwriting.
I didn't write anything.
You probably drank and I don't remember.
I'm drinking. I'm just drinking.
She was too young and it was on her heart. And she was like, I'm already pushing. It's on my head.
So what's our conclusion?
Do what's right for you in the time that's when it's right for you.
Girl,
But if you want to
do you,
hoe,
boo-boo.
girl, do you. That's
Be
it.
Do you?
for me, you don't need either of them niggas. Find you one that is a hybrid.
Yeah. They like rare Pokemon
Perfection.
out here. But you gotta get one. You gotta get them.
But while you
With
searching,
it.
catch them all. That's all I'm saying.
I can't. I cannot. Jessica. But why are you searching? What do you do when you get the one you want? The rare Pokemon. You throw them all back?
Nah, bitch, I put that right there.
Put that shit in your
Put
pocket.
that
She catches
Pokeball
the-
right here.
Catches them and doesn't let them go.
Oh my god. All right, so let's get into our next segment. Jessica,
Whoop whoop.
what's up?
So, as we were saying earlier, we had our launch party yesterday, and our loyal ass guests that showed up.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out.
Oh, y'all were so fun.
They gave so many stories, and I'm just gonna run through a couple because this shit is hilarious. Okay, y'all ready?
Ready?
Nobody wrote names, so it is what it is. Y'all ready? Mm-hmm. This girl I know, ... broke up with her boyfriend, and the next day had sex in the car of her ex-boyfriend, and he has a girlfriend.
What? Wait, her ex-boyfriend has a girlfriend.
So she got single with a fucking taking nigga. That's what she did.
But her old nigga though.
Her old nigga.
Who has a girlfriend?
Who has a girlfriend.
Scandalous.
Damn.
Girl.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
Y'all know some shiesty people.
No, this shit sound hella believable.
I would say.
It does.
Like,
It really did.
I'm thinking about it, I'm like,
That
that's,
shit
I
happened,
know
yo.
plenty of people that's happened to.
Whatever they said she did that
Hey.
shit.
one time, I was fucking this guy that owned a law firm. His wife found out, confronted me. Long story short, I started fucking her too.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yo,
what?
She got game. That's what
She said long story short. She could have just said that.
Nah, you needed to. How, bitch? How?
She said I was fucking this guy and then
Bitch,
fucking his
You need
wife.
to check
got
back
game.
in and let us know.
Yeah,
bitch,
give us a little
how,
more
like,
detail.
Damn. Okay.
Let me see this. This is mad long. Let's see
I
what's
said, hiya.
They all long.
Hiya.
All right.
Oh.
As a bartender, I see a lot of shit. LOL. Good for you. On one Friday night, my job, there were 3 incidents in particular. 1, girl comes in at 5 p.m. and orders 1 drink. By 10 p.m., she baits dudes to buy her drinks, not spending another $1. That's my idol.
Hello.
That's
what you're supposed to
I'm
do.
gonna start off slow, right? And
She's
then
like,
build
I
it up.
only brought $7. That's it. That's
You ain't
my
gonna get no
budget
Got her
tonight.
vodka cranberry. She's chilling. She's chilling.
Just staring at it and looking at niggas like, you
Mm-hmm.
no.
All right, 2. Dude offers to buy a girl a drink. Girl asks, what's the most expensive drink on the menu?
Bitch.
Yo,
That's so
yo,
much.
no.
Nah, that's petty.
Yo, that's mad smart. That's what you get. Why you offering, nigga?
But you ain't gonna get a second drink after that. Why would you?
Exactly.
Come on now.
More
You gotta
drinks.
play smart.
Nah, when dudes be at the bar, they be hella thirsty. They be like, yo, you want another
But
one? You want another
if you offer to pay, if I offer to pay for your drink and you be like, yo, bartender, what's the most expensive drink on the menu? I'm gonna be like, nah, bitch.
Nah, I'm good.
Nah,
You about to leave
I'ma
me
walk
with that
right the
tab.
fuck away.
Exactly.
Nah, he
Like,
gonna
you
pay
get it.
that tab and then he might walk away and then I'm gonna bait the next nigga. That's it.
And
What
order the
up?
most expensive drink.
Yeah, that's what she thinks will happen. That's like,
All right, and then 3. Dude offers girl a drink. She orders a chocolate cake.
that bitch. She was like, nah, fuck that alcohol shit.
Look, what his
That
tab,
chocolate
though.
cake,
I
though.
want some dessert.
She said, I was thinking about it, but I ran out of money. But since you offering, throw that cake on that tab.
Yo, dead ass. She was like, damn, I really want
Yo, maybe the cake, wouldn't the cake be cheaper though? Good for
So
him.
that's what she wanted. It was
Good
for
for him. I'm
her.
saying it's cheaper, so good
Right,
for him.
right, but
Right.
He made a come up.
he was probably trying to like, you know, drink with her.
Get
She
a
over
little
here,
tipsy, we know.
She was like, nah, I'm cool on alcohol.
All right, ready? Next one. Hey y'all.
Hey.
Hey.
Y'all asked for a whole story, and one comes to mind. And that's one day while I'm home for the summer, my friends wake me out of my sleep to a chick who was ready for the whole team. Okay.
Where they find this bitch? Just found her randomly.
Right.
Where's the rest of the Pokemon hybrids?
Yeah.
Right.
First, I don't know how, but
They.
Oh, damn! You need to separate your T's and your H's.
For real.
They got in my house, but long story short, we ran a train on her, and she was asking for it again the next day.
Oh.
Yo,
The very next. How many of these niggas was it?
He didn't say me.
Because you gotta recuperate. You can't just.
Yo, y'all, all this long story short, y'all should have put this. There's another side.
Details.
Right?
Details.
But damn, the next day?
Wait, was it that? I can't imagine that being that great.
I don't.
But she asked for it
Right.
from all
she's
of
a
them.
broken soul.
But
We
they
should pray
woke
for
that
her.
nigga up. He was sleeping. She was like, I want that dick too. She wanted it.
And again tomorrow.
She set a future appointment.
What
Right.
kind of roofies was they?
All right. An ex and I really wanted to fuck. Girl.
Straight to the point.
Right.
Boy,
Okay.
whatever. All right. We had no shame and picked somewhat public places to do our thing sometimes. In hiding, of course. Okay.
Public, but in hiding.
Yeah, you know, dark corners and shit, you know. So one night we came to the theater after having already strategically fucked on his lap at the back of the theater. Nice. We wanted more.
Okay.
Reminds me of high school.
Yeah, right. Looking for a place to get it in again. So we started to try to scope out some spots in a blue parking lot as we left. Oh, in the parking lot as we left, sorry.
What should get blue for?
Right.
Bitch, that people.
It does like blue.
What does that say?
See, now they're not separating their T's and their H's.
Separating your teeth and itches. Okay, my ex began to see if any of the parked 18-wheeler track trailers were open, and he happened to come across one that had the back loading doors unlocked.
Okay.
So we jumped in it and did our thing. Somewhat paranoid, of course. And during the intercourse, I happened to look up and saw various pornographic posters aligned on the walls of the trailer. And it was pretty perfect for the moment.
Oh,
You know
She
what?
was meant to be.
It was-
Okay, you know.
What do you always say? It was scenic.
It was scenic.
Set the mood. Nice.
What I like is that she said during the intercourse. She's so cute.
She's doctor.
She didn't leave her
During
name.
the intercourse.
She sounds very educated. All right, last story, y'all. Messing with Shorty, I thought everything was cool. What started as a simple hello turned out to be a regular nightcap. So fast forward 3 years. He spelled years wrong, but we're not going to judge you.
We already did.
Wow.
Fast forward 3 years. The relationship took off to be amazing until that dreadful day. The new 2K came out. So
Wow,
Niggas. It's always
He
niggas.
said everything had to fucking
No,
stop.
that's like you just know. Like, all right, so
No relationship.
Right. The new 2K came out, so you already know everything else is a dub.
Everything else, a relationship.
This is a
This is a New York nigga.
You know what? That's coming up on Tuesday too.
It is.
The new 2K coming out.
Oh, see?
It's about
Well,
bitch
bitch,
up.
be prepared.
See? So everything
applause for a
else is
relationship.
a dub, but the knocks were getting annoying. So was somebody at the door?
I guess his
Okay.
girl.
Fast forward.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He locked her out.
Yeah. So the knocks were getting annoying. So when I opened the door, a teenage female was like, oh, he wrote his name. She was like, sir? We'll just call him sir.
Call him Malcolm.
sir.
His name is Malcolm.
Let's call you Malcolm. I'm like, what the fuck? Who you? She proceeded to say, I'm Chantel, Alexis. I'm Beverly.
You messed up.
Marissa's daughter. But wait, that's all he said.
That's the end of the story.
That's it.
Trapped in the closet.
This nigga said dot dot dot.
Dot. Like we supposed to know.
Malcolm, what the fuck
Is he
happened?
giving us another story at first?
Is this your daughter? Like, what happened?
3 years and he got a teenage daughter already?
Yeah, I don't know. Or does she have the daughter?
Wait, I'm like, what the fuck? Who are you? She proceeded to say, I'm so and so's daughter.
Okay.
Meaning, like, he was playing for so long, she had a kid.
Maybe,
Like, a
maybe
teenage
we need a nigga to like
Chapter
chime in
2.
because this
Yeah,
makes
chapter
no sense.
2. Chapter 2. What? He trying to rate thrillers and
No,
shit.
he really wrote that. What?
He didn't finish.
What's the punchline?
Are we supposed to know? We supposed
His
to
phone came
assume
on,
what
so he
happened
stopped
next?
rating.
Oh my god!
Back
Right.
that ass up, okay,
Come back. That's what happened.
But that's it. That concludes my little segment. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, please send your sketchy, weird, nasty, hoey. I don't care. Send that shit. We get a kick out of it. Y'all getting a kick out of it. Don't be stingy. Thank you to those that submitted these stories. I'm pretty
Finally good to hear
The
male
live
ones,
stories,
right?
too, that we got.
Oh, we
got
did
some-
have live stories.
we got
Oh
some
my
live
God.
That was
stories
lit.
from guys too, which was
people
great.
were like,
The guys were
acting-
loving it.
No, guys were lit.
Yeah.
Guys are hoes.
they was
that's
spilling
what
the
it is.
beans.
They was like, no. Let me tell you about this chick.
Yo.
They was killing it. Yeah, we had a
So
good time.
I'm not gonna repeat where to send them to. Y'all know, this is the 5th episode. You should know where to send this shit. But thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the segment.
Thank you for that, Jess. That was fun.
That was.
Awesome.
All right, so we're gonna get into Black in the Business. Darla, take it away.
Okay, well, since you introduced me, I guess you fucked up. So I'm not gonna introduce myself.
No, you gotta do your little song.
Well, since you're
All right,
already
also we'll do it again. All right, this is Darla, guys, and it's time for Black of the Business.
That was beautiful.
Okay.
I liked it. That was.
All right, so no, this episode we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Talk about something that's like something that's already out there. So we're not gonna reinvent the wheel. We're gonna be talking about something that's like already put together, where you can buy black from no matter where you are in the world. So I'm talking about WeBuyBlack.com. Have y'all heard of it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like Black Amazon.
Word.
It
Yes.
does. Everything
So are
in
y'all
there.
like, do y'all,
Yes,
shop on
yeah.
there, whatever?
Well, I haven't shopped on there, but I have checked
looked.
it.
But
Yeah.
I
All right,
have
after
a
this
couple of
episode,
things
that's
in my
going to
cart.
change
Yeah, I got some
because
cart.
we're
I got
going
some cart stuff.
to do this. So, WeBuyBlack.com was founded by Shareef Abdul-Malik.
Black ass name.
It is. It is.
That is a brother. No hesitation. All right, go ahead, Shareef.
All right. And,
Sorry. Go ahead, talk about Shareef.
all right. And WeBuyBlack.com is an online marketplace for strictly black-owned businesses. I watched a little documentary and everything, and he was saying how, like, you have to be a black-owned business to be on our website. And I'm like, yo, that's popping. Okay. I really appreciate that. So it's for an online marketplace for black-owned businesses to showcase and sell their products to a global community. What drives We Buy Black is a community of creative entrepreneurs who use WeBuyBlack.com to sell their products. There's thousands of shoppers who believe in supporting these entrepreneurs to affect social change, and their committed staff. So I have some info that I got from their website that I felt was very important to, like, basically explain why it's so crucial to buy black. So, guys, did you know $1 circulates in the Asian community for 1 month?
$1.
Yeah, $1 circulates in the Asian community for 1 month. $1 circulates in the Jewish community for about 20 days. In the white community for 17 days. Unfortunately, $1 circulates in the black community for about 6 hours.
Yeah, we don't even get days.
Right.
Damn.
I didn't even get a week.
Yeah, we have got
Not even
They take
not
our
half
money,
a day.
yeah.
My nigga,
We
that's
got
a part-time shift.
6 hours.
Yeah.
So recognizing this fact, the team at WeBuyBlack.com, they place some added features on their website that will help ensure that our dollars circulate at a rate that's equal to or better than any other race of people. Period. So, also another did you know? Did you know that blacks in America have the highest rates for joblessness, homelessness, poverty, crime, and imprisonment? But black-owned businesses are the second highest employer of African Americans after the government. So basically what this is saying that if we continue to support and help and to create sustainable Black-owned businesses, we will basically reduce all of these unfortunate statistics that were previously mentioned, joblessness, homelessness, all of that stuff. So to remedy the systematic and multi-generational issues, we have to remain steadfast in supporting those that support us. Okay, so I went on this website, guys, and they have everything. Like, they have laundry detergent, they have what else they got?
Soap.
They got laundry detergent, soap, they got clothing, jewelry, electricians, plumbers, like whatever you need, toothbrushes. They have everything. So basically it's like a Black Amazon. So how about instead of Amazon, WeBuyBlack.com.
I mean, they got We Buy Black Prime.
They do? Oh,
We asking. They got free 2-day shipping. I mean,
and see, that's the problem. We all looking for like, no, we're joking clearly, but like people listening, they gonna be like, oh yeah, with my free shipping. But like, we can all do our part in supporting our people and keeping our dollars circulating in our community. So
Definitely.
WeBuyBlack.com. Check out their IG, WeBuyBlack. That's it for Black of the Business, but if y'all have any businesses that you want featured on Black of the Business, y'all can definitely email us, hit us in the DMs. I'm just saying pod@gmail.com. I'm just saying pod on IG, Twitter, everything else, Snap. We don't got the Snap, do we? I made that up, sorry.
You let me run Snap.
Like, just run Snap.
Bad idea.
Yeah, so definitely just contact us if you want your business on Black of the Business. And that's it, guys.
That was great,
That was Darla.
Thank you.
I like that website though.
Yes.
Yes, it's awesome.
Thank you for that, Darla. All right. Well, that concludes this week's episode of I'm Just Saying, our very special episode, our very first together. Won't be the last. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. That would be Facebook. You can find us on I'm Just Sayin Podcast. Instagram, I'm Just Sayin Pod. Twitter, I'm Just Sayin Pod.
Yeah.
And email, I'm Just Sayin Pod @gmail.com. You can also connect with us individually. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat as One Lucky Lady. And Shawnee's, where can we find you?
Instagram with Kiss My Sass, Kiss_my_sass_, and on Twitter at _dreadlightly. Jessica.
You can find me. I am on IG. I am Jurani _, or we can be friends on Snappy, and I am Juranji. I don't think there's an underscore. No, it's just Juranji. And D, where you at?
I'm on IG at Darla _7 and the Snappy at Darla _7.
All right. Thank you for listening to another episode of I'm Just Sayin, your bi-weekly podcast for all things real, raw, and in between.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.